Hi, what's up? Alright, so for what we have for you today is a series Bible for a web series that is a satire and will be made eventually. It involves rise and fall. The main character, Nick, who is leading on the leaderboards for the entire game, suddenly falls in episode 4 in the climax of the web series when he's being chased by a mysterious cloaked figure. The game plays you. The dystopian-esque reality committee is playing the players. Involves a chase in episode 4 when Nick is being chased by a mysterious hooded figure. It involves a discovery when Nick discovers that this hooded figure that he's being chased by is not actually the reality committee, who is incidentally wearing the same hood. An elusive quarry, Nick eludes this person that is chasing him and reveals his identity, so he is an elusive quarry. It shares the universe with Ryan's earlier web series because it, among other things for the game, shares the same Team Fortress that is making fun of us.
Should be noted that it also shares the universe with my web series shared the universe with, which
was 14 other projects. It involves a bounty. Laszlo, the person who is chasing Nick, has a bounty out for Nick. Regarding pride, Laszlo has a lot of pride. He is a pretentious hipster who thinks that the game is stupid and doesn't want to play it. Laszlo Kovacs, who is a character. It involves irony, one because we're making fun of ourselves in the satire. What is it? Transmedia franchise. It involves all the things that Ryan's did because it was an actual web series. And later we will use it again because it will actually be made into a web series. It involves an enigma. Nick discovers who the reality committee is, which in itself is an enigma. Or he discovers who the hooded figure is. It's not the reality committee. It involves diligence. Jesus, there's too many cards.
He's diligent on his quest.
No, it wasn't Nick who was diligent. It was the reality committee.
Diligent.
No, it was the reality committee who was diligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's diligent.
Featuring a lost one. Oh my god, what was the last one?
You wrote out
Nick
your
is
entire...
lost.
Yes, I wrote it out. Do you see how many cards I have? Okay.
Nick is the last one, technically, because...
Yeah, Nick is the lost one.
And same with the people who weren't playing the game.
They're all
Nick
lost.
becomes lost in the PED basement.
Oh, that's it.
Nick is going through the PED basement to find a Twitter scavenger hunt thing, and he gets lost down there. The trickster, the hooded figure, is a trickster who pulls pranks on various students, including a student named Roberto. Archetypes, a father figure. In the actual series, Jeff is involved, and he is a semi-father figure in protecting some of the students. It involves brainwashing. The supposed reality committee, who is possibly one or multiple people, are all brainwashed. It involves a seeker, Nick, who is seeking out the Twitter scavenger hunt in the PD building, only to find his demise. It involves mind-altering drugs. Laszlo Kovacs, the antagonist, uses mind-altering drugs against another character named Roberto. Oh jeez, second card. Freaking brainwashing then. Let's see which one this is. Involving an escape. Nick escapes Laszlo Kovacs in the PED building, which also is the reason why he's an elusive quarry. It involves an intermission because there are intermissions between the episodes. It involves a person in costume because Laszlo Kovacs is in costume as a hooded figure, in another man's shoes. Laszlo Kovacs disguises himself as the reality committee, therefore he is in another man's shoes. It is about greed because the various players, including a player by the name of Alex, who is the leader of the jealous second place team, is very greedy. It features a debate because there's a point where Jeff has a debate with the rally committee on a deal that one of the students has made. It involves hesitance. Where did I put this one?
Because one or more characters are hesitant over the course of the story.
Ryan, shut up.
They were hesitant.
Oh, at the end, Nick has a moral dilemma in which he must decide what he wants to do with Laszlo Kovacs. He is about to do something to Laszlo Kovacs, but he hesitates at the last moment and makes the right decision and takes the high road. Featuring the Sage, who is... And this refers to the rally committee's sage-like appearance in their hoods. trust me, when you see it, it involves a treasure. Nick seeks out a treasure in the PED building, or in the basement of the PED building. It involves a mad prophet because Roberto, who scribbles 10K's points bonus onto the walls, is a mad prophet. It involves body horror because Laszlo Kovacs drugs up Roberto, causing body horror to his own personal being. It involves an airplane because it makes an airplane reference in episode 3. It involves a sneak attack because Laszlo Kovacs performs a sneak attack onto Roberto and also Nick. It involves a fall from grace because, same with Rise and Fall, Nick is the top player and falls in episode 4 when he's being chased by Laszlo Kovacs. I'm getting really tired. Involving a twist. It's a twist that the hooded figure is not actually the rally committee. Featuring a brotherhood. The rally committee itself is this secretive brotherhood that nobody really knows about. A search for freedom, which is... Nick is searching for freedom when trapped in the PED building, which he finally escaped from in the end. The cake is a lie. That is the title of episode 1, I believe? Episode 2. And it also embodies the dystopian feel of the web series. Regarding partnership, Nick makes various deals with multiple people throughout the game, including some representational teams.
Shady individuals.
It features the statue of Douglas Fairbanks in episode 1 when he is first getting his cards. He passes by a statue of Douglas Fairbanks. It involves a hunter. Nick is being hunted by Laszlo Kovacs, who is a hunter. And Nick himself is also a hunter in the Twitter scavenger hunt. It involves the collapse of civilization. The players turn on each other, including Laszlo Kovacs, who drugs up another player, so that is a collapse of complete... It's just absolute anarchy. It's at the right place at the wrong time. In episode, I believe it's 2, might be 3. Roberto, Nick's roommate, he goes to the game office, which is the right place, but he goes at the wrong time because he overhears a conversation that he shouldn't. Very sketchy. It involves an everyman. Nick himself is a normal, everyday guy, which is important to his character, because in the sense... Oh, jeez, where'd that write? No caps lock. Stop. Just as because also Jeff is also in the series a normal character. It's important to Nick's character because bad things just happen to him. He's not like a weird character that does weird things. He's just a normal everyday guy, which is important. And it features a rebel because Nick, instead of forming teams like everyone else, decides to be a rebel and does not form a single team and does everything on his own. It's at or involving the Cinematic Arts Library. In episode, I believe it's 2, Nick finally meets his arch nemesis of Laszlo Kovacs in the Cinematic Arts Library. It involves a false assumption because Nick assumes that the hooded figure is the reality committee. It involves footsteps. In the chase scene, footsteps are... The sound effect of footsteps is heavily used because it references to Slender in that part, and so the use of the sound of footsteps is really important to the reference. It involves a cliffhanger. I believe all the episodes end on a cliffhanger, but especially episode 1 in which the rally committee is introduced at the very, very end. Involving insubordination. This is why I wrote them down.
Because Nick is insubordinate.
Nick is
Several characters at one time in another.
Well, Nick goes against the wishes of the rally committee who run the game, so that is insubordination. Involving a sign. In the PED building, Nick goes there and there's a sign, comedically, that's pointing down into the PED basement saying Twitter, like, cards, leading him down to the PED basement, leading him to his demise. Regarding age and youth, this is the difference between the kids playing and some of the people running the game, like the reality committee. And finally, featuring a chronicle. Of course, I have to look up the last card. Of course, it's just I can't finish this smoothly.
Because the show itself is
because the web series itself is a factual representation of what's actually happening in the real game. We actually take real characters, and trust me, when you see it, you'll realize who Roberto is, and if any of you know it, it'll be extremely funny. Alright, I think that's it for you today. Thanks for stopping by.
Hold on, give me the partnership card.